Hoyte Van Hoytema, a Dutch-Swedish cinematographer, has become well known in the film industry. He has worked on award-winning films like Interstellar, Dunkirk, Spectre, and many more. But success didn't come easy to him. Hoyte Van Hoytema always wanted to work in the film industry. When he applied to a film school in Netherlands, where he grew up, he was rejected twice. Having bills to pay, Van Hoytema worked at a soap factory and a carpentry factory afterwards. Hoyte decided to go to Poland and visit his relatives. He later decides to attend the Polish National Film School in Lodz. His professors started to take notice of Hoyte's work. Hoyte showed a lot of promise during his time in school. Although Hoyte left Lodz Film School without finishing his degree, he had credential from his projects, which led him to be asked to shoot a low-budget film in Norway called The Black Lab, directed by Erik Smithmeyer. Hoyte said he gave everything he could at the moment to the film. Because he took so long to start working, he was energized to do his best.
I mean, my journey has been quite long. I really wanted to be a cinematographer for a very long time, and in a way, I have always the feeling that, the moment I really started working, I had been waiting for a very long time to try, and I guess that time that I've spent, doing not so much very important things, but just sticking to the fact that you want to do it, you learn a lot, and you develop yourself in another way, maybe differently than people that learn cinematography in a very short amount of time and then get to work straight away. I mean, somehow that, sort of walking around in your apartment against the walls, not knowing what to do, but still, and how to do it, but still wanting to do it, gives you some time to think, maybe.
Afterwards, he worked on some mini TV shows and documentaries in Sweden. This started his career as he became a remarkable cinematographer in Sweden. The film, Let the Right One In, made him popular internationally. Here are some clips from that movie.
Är du vampyr?
Hade du tyckt om mig ändå?
He then went on to shoot feature films for big directors such as David O. Russell, Spike Jonze, Christopher Nolan, James Gray, Sam Mendes, and Jordan Peele. Before we investigate his style, let's talk about who a cinematographer really is. A cinematographer, also known as director of photography, is the person responsible for the visuals to the story being told. Cinematographer works with composition, lighting, camera placement, and movement to communicate the film to the audience. Hoyte uses minimalistic but yet practical elements to shoot his scenes to give them a natural effect. He doesn't believe that CGI or post-production can deliver the same natural and immersive feel to the film as practical elements. That's why Hoyte spends a big chunk of his time preparing the set before shooting. Lighting is arguably one of the most important aspects of filmmaking. Because light is what gets captured by the camera, prepping the scene with correct lighting is crucial to reflect the tone of the story. Earlier, we discussed that Hoyte loves natural and immersive scenes. He achieves that by using a naturalistic type of lighting. For example, he would use a natural sunlight when shooting outside. Otherwise, he would use softened artificial light in large scale to mimic realistic ambient light. When shooting scenes inside, Hoyte loves pointing light through windows. Hoyte also loves using directional light and shadows. He will light only half of the face, giving it depth, which helps the characters look real. I think Hoyte's attitude towards filmmaking is inspiring. Here's what he said in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter.
You know, the last film we kind of worked a lot of momentum, so it was all, for us, it was all about happy accidents all the time. You know, we were just keep shooting, try not to be precious about continuity too much, try not to be too precious about the weather. And then every day you have a moment you get lucky, you know, where it's pure dumb luck that stuff starts looking interesting.
In this clip, Hoyte is talking about one of his stunning films, Dunkirk. He invites others who want to get into film not to worry much about the things outside of your control, but rather to embrace them. Because Hoyte wanted to shoot in Dunkirk, the real location of where the film takes place, he was challenged to shoot it in the weather conditions there. So instead of giving up and heading back to the studio, he embraced the challenges and incorporated them within his scenes to give us the visceral look of the film. Another great technique that Van Hoytema uses to show emotion is the shallow depth of field. He keeps the focus on where he wants the audience's attention the most. You can still see the background, but the emotion of the object in focus is far outweighed. In this scene from Her, Hoyte uses shallow depth of field to isolate Joaquin Phoenix's character from the rest of the world to represent how truly lonely he is. We can still see the crowd behind, but we are more focused on the character's face expressions, posture, and costume. Van Hoytema doesn't use extensive camera movement. In the set, he opts for handheld camera movement when possible. Using simple movements that the audience are familiar with gives the film an organic look, which helps us connect with the movie and the characters. Hoyte likes shooting on film. Almost all of his work is shot on film. Movies such as Ad Astra, Dunkirk, and Interstellar. The grain and the texture of the film give the movie a physical sense. Combined with shooting with large cameras such as IMAX cameras, shooting in film makes the viewer feel as if they were part of the movie. Take a look at the scene from Ad Astra.
Set for departure to the Far Side Launch Complex.
Look at this. The big blue marble. Rover 7, confirming settings. Bearing 290. Alpha, we have what looks like unidentified rovers approaching our position. Possible pirate activity. Alpha, we need backup ASAP. We're being ambushed.
LRV-2 down.
Roy!
I have a puncture.
Roy, you alright?
I'm okay.
Alpha, repeat. We need... Lieutenant! Oh, Lord!
We are not clear. I repeat, we are not clear. We have multiple enemy craft in pursuit.
To make this scene feel as organic as it is, Hoyte came up with a brilliant idea to shoot with a dual camera setup, one infrared and one film camera. The special effects teams and the picture car mechanic teams built the rovers to mimic the real Apollo mission rovers. So, when shooting the scenes in Dumont Dunes in Southern California, the idea was that the infrared camera would capture the luminescence data, which would be combined with the color information from the film camera. This would produce a scene that looked like it was from the moon, but captured all the practical elements such as natural light, clear footage of the scene, and the performance of the actors. The pattern of natural style of shooting is common in Hoyte's work to deliver immersive scenes. In Dunkirk, the crew utilizes the practical effects in the setting, such as sand, dirt, and dust. Most of the explosions in the movie are real, and shots underwater weren't just CGI, but were shot underwater. In Interstellar, the locations of the scenes are real. The isolated planets were shot in Iceland lagoons and glaciers. The scene where Matthew McConaughey characters is in the fourth dimension was a real set built by the crew. Hoyte Van Hoytema is an incredible filmmaker, and his work is one of the reasons why I love film. Through his minimalistic style, he could shoot big action films which include intimate and personal themes. Obviously, the result is what matters the most, but I think that the journey needs to be fun and appreciated. Hoyte makes best of both. He can shoot practically with real scenes, giving actors a boost in their performance while delivering a truly immersive experience for the viewers. And he's only in the middle of his career. Can't wait to see his next film, Oppenheimer, and the style choices he makes.